Good morning everybody, I'm Nathan, a landscape photographer from Brisbane in Queensland. Welcome back to my channel. This morning I'm coming to you from a little place out of Boona that I scouted out a little while ago. I'm out for my first sunrise of 2022, and actually it's probably my first sunrise since we went and camped at the steamers in October. So I'm actually really pumped for this morning. Unfortunately, I do have a little bit of fairly heavy low cloud. It's not blocking everything out to the east. There's a bit of cloud around some of the mountains out there, so I might still get something, but either way, it's just amazing to be out here. This spot just has some cracking views. There's that view out to the east, and there's sort of even a half decent view towards north, which looks maybe like Mount Maroon and Mount Gravel, and then out to the west even there's a bit of a view, so it's just a really lovely spot here. I'm just chuffed to be out here. There are a lot of mosquitoes, which I'm not surprised about. It's been pretty rainy this summer here in Australia, and there's a lot of grass and that sort of thing. But let me just set up a camera and see what we find. So I brought a few cameras with me today. I brought the GFX, the panorama camera, and the Hasselblad. I actually think there might be a panorama here, because I can see some mountains out here, little hill, and another mountain with that tree right in there. So I might put this on the tripod and just see if I can get something really good. There's a little bit of long grass here which might get in the way, but it's worth having a look. So I've loaded a roll of film into both the panorama and the Hasselblad. So I've actually got a little bit of colour in the sky, sort of a little bit out towards the north. So I might use my small tripod with the Hasselblad and see if I can get something before taking a panorama. So this is what I'm seeing out here. It's a bit hard to see. Just a little bit of orangey pink in the clouds. I just don't think I'm going to be able to get anything, unfortunately. So I'm going to take a shot out there. Got a little bit of colour up above the mountain, and it's not the best composition, but I think it might be nice enough to take a shot. So I've got Fuji Pro 160 loaded, and I'm shooting with the 150mm lens with the Hasselblad. I'm going to stop down to f16, and I'm going to shoot at 4 seconds is what my meter's saying. So I'm just going to grab this while I've got that colour in the sky. I've got the dark slide out, mirror lock up. Let's get this to bulb. Just going to give it a minute for this tripod to stop moving. Okay, so first shot of the day. Hopefully there's a little bit of that colour behind the mountain. So now I might turn back to my original composition. It's a nice composition and I like it, but there's just not a lot of light there. Let me just have a look. So I like the composition. I don't have a lot of great light. The sun is supposed to rise right about now, a couple of minutes time. Might be a little bit, take a minute or two longer just for it to come over the hills. We'll see. If I'm lucky, I might get a bit of nice backlighting behind this original composition. I'm not going to hold my hopes out. So I'm just happy to be here at the moment, but we'll see. So I think it's going to pay off. The composition, I found a composition I like with both cameras actually pointing in the same direction. The composition hasn't changed with regards to the Fuji, but I sort of set the Hasselblad up pointing in the same direction, just it's got that bit longer lens. So 150mm, 105mm, but there's a little bit of color and light poking behind one of these mountains here. And this might actually work out in my favor. So basically I'm just metering for the grass to get nice even exposure on that. I'll save my highlights just shooting film, and the shadows won't be too dark, I don't think. It'll be okay. So if I'm shooting on the Hasselblad at f11, I'm looking at half a second. So there'll be 2 seconds on the Fujifilm at f22. I might actually just grab that now on the Hasselblad. I don't usually use 2 cameras at once. So I'm using the tripod I normally use for my vlogging camera on the Hasselblad and my good tripod on the Fuji. And the Hasselblad's, it's not too heavy for the tripod, but it's not the world's best tripod, so it's a bit shaky. Now, the light may improve a little bit, but at least I've got 2 nice shots in the bag. Okay, so I've popped the 250 on. I am just going to have to be a bit more careful, obviously, in regards to camera shake. Composition works fairly well. It doesn't get much of the mountain in, but that's okay. Just want to make sure I've got good focus on the tree. So I'll go 1/15 of a second at f5.6. Still going to use my mirror lock up. Just wait for this camera to stop shaking. So ignore the mosquitoes. Okay. So that frame, I had that tree just off sort of to left of frame so you could see that little bit of the mountain there behind with the glow. I might try another shot now, just looking more towards the field to get a bit more mountain before that light disappears. Problem is I'm getting some long grass in the shot, which I don't like. If I move the camera a bit more towards where this camera is, I might get something a bit better. I couldn't quite get that composition I thought I might have spotted to work. I'm going to do one more little bit different composition again with that tree in it with this 250mm, because I just can't get enough of this lens. It's still using that tree, but it's got it on the other side of the frame. There's a little bit of a road driving into the property with a bit of the mountain sort of ridge behind it. So that should be a pretty nice frame. Metering for the grass again. f8, 1/8 of a second I'm going to go for. Get a bit of background compression, 1/8 of a second. Just wait for this camera to stop shaking. Seems to be the story of my morning. But I'm not willing yet to take that camera off to use the better tripod, because there's actually a little bit more light coming across there now. A bit different, not as colourful, but soft light coming across the mountain, which will be right in that frame. I'm glad I left this here. f22, half second, 1 second. I'm going to go 1 second, but close the aperture down slightly. Good thing with this camera is it doesn't have solid click, so you can just stop the aperture down where you need it. So I set that to 1 second. Wind on to the next frame and just grab this before that light disappears. Got it. Hopefully that might be the end of this, well, I say hopefully, that is quite likely the end of this composition now. What I'm going to do is just maybe take a look over the other side of the road and just see if there's any compositions over there with either camera. So I'm just going to duck across the dirt road here and have a look out the other way. There is some light on the mountain over here. Got a nice vantage point. I've probably almost exhausted this location now, I think. I'm wondering if maybe I should jump in the car, just head a little bit further along Carney's Creek Road and just see if I can get anything while it's still a little cloudy. The sun is behind some clouds, but it's up high enough that there's a bit of light around and it's not too contrasty because it's filtered. So maybe I'll just jump in the car and have a bit of a look around. Well, I did finish each roll of film. So I shot 2 rolls this morning, 1 in each camera. And now I've just stopped in at Boona and just gonna make my way back to Brisbane. I'll show you a couple of the photos I took after I stopped recording. It was just as I was driving along the road a little bit. I think I got some good ones this morning. It's been a really nice morning out here in the Scenic Rim. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. I also would like it if you want to leave any comments or if you have any questions. But thanks again. I really appreciate you watching. I can't wait to see you again soon.